Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again to GHSA TV. Remember, if you want to join the conversation about high school sports, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Play On Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Again, we are a technologically advanced company, and we're bringing you the best that high school football can give. We have exclusive rights, and so we're going to bring you the game. We've got games from all over the state, but if you got me tonight, you've also got Pat Ewart, and you've got on the camera with us tonight is Ralph Clark.
It's a gorgeous night here for football. This ought to be a great game. It's about 60 degrees out right now, no wind. You couldn't ask for a better night for playoff football, could you?
It is a perfect night. We've got Carver and Buford.
The title again.
Yeah, Buford is 2-1 against Carver-Columbus in the last few years. If you look at them head-to-head, we were able to check out some stats on these guys. They're both doing a lot on the field as far as offensive goes, the offensive category. Carver has the edge, putting up 420 points a game. Against Buford, only putting up 354 points a game. Both teams averaging about 30 points, Carver at 35, Buford at 29.5. But the total points allowed is something where you might want to pay attention. Carver is allowing 149 points a game, an average of 12.4, and Buford only allowing 90 points and 7.5 per game.
Yeah, that's a big difference. It's they're not. I don't think they're allowing 90 points per game.
Yeah, excuse me, 90 points total.
Total this season.
That would be awesome.
That would be. It's going to be a clash of Carver's offense versus Buford's defense, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see what happens.
Carver has 4 runners with 500 or more yards on the year. Senior Danny Riles has 677 yards and 9 touchdowns. Brandon Thomas, 627 yards and 7 touchdowns. And the sophomore Mario Moore with 588 yards with 7 touchdowns. But, you know, the Tiger offense tonight, you're going to see it go through the junior quarterback, Torrance McGee. No relation to Coach McGee, who is a storied coach here, but has 518 yards on the ground and almost 1,200 yards through the air.
And I'm really interested to see, with 4 guys over 500 yards, that, it just proves that they spread the ball around a good bit. And I'm really interested to see these guys run around in the backfield, and because they are always a very athletic football program, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Both coaches doing a great job with their programs. I know that Coach McGee, 88-18 since he's been coaching, been here at Carver-Columbus since 2005 with 1 state championship in 2007. He's got 4 state semifinals, and this year the 2 AAA region champs. Now the interesting story, even tonight, as good as Buford is, they're the number 2 seed, and only because they had to forfeit 2 of their games earlier in the year.
They did. That was very unfortunate. They were on a roll, having a great season, and had to go ahead and forfeit 2 of the games. But you know what? Here they are, trying to make another run at it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's worried about who did what in the region. As the whole goal is getting a state title. Coach Simpson been at Buford since 2005, has 4 state championships, so both of them bringing quite a pedigree to the game tonight. Coach Simpson already reaching that 100-win mark this year, 105 wins to only 18 losses and 4 state championships on the way.
Well, and Buford played Calhoun in 3 of the last state championships down here in AA. But, Calhoun, they were down in AA. And with the changes in the system, they had to move Buford and Carver both went up to AAA here. Calhoun staying down in AA and seemed to be the dominant force down there again this year. Yeah,
they'll be playing a big game tonight, too. Calhoun is more than likely going to be making a run for the state championship here pretty soon. The winner of tonight's game with Carver and Buford, you will actually get to see probably the game Thompson tonight, Thompson and Cartersville playing. So that's who Carver or Buford will be playing in the semifinals here in the quarterfinals. Across the bracket, Peach County and North Hall. So still 2 teams from 2 AAA alive, Washington County and St. Pius on the other side.
There's Buford kicking it off.
Well, it's time for high school football. The quarterfinals are underway. Going to be taken at the 1-yard line. Going to take it up across the 10 and scoot out there at the 20, where he's finally going to be shoved down around the 22 or 23-yard line, where Carver, a very speedy group, put a lot of points out on the board, will be starting over first down and 10 beyond their own 25, inside their 25 at their own 23-yard line. You're going to see Torrance McGee, the quarterback for Carver-Columbus, has done nothing but get yards this year, whether it be on the ground or whether it be through the air. He's done all that's been required of him. I know Coach McGee runs a very tight program. A lot of storied athletes coming out of here at Carver-Columbus. Jarvis Jones playing for a big championship tomorrow night in the SEC championship.
Well, and another guy I think everybody will remember is Isaiah Crowell.
Yeah, Isaiah Crowell is a big name. You're going to see him running out of the spread tonight, most likely. There's two guys out on the left. As Torrance McGee takes the first snap, he puts it down on the ground.
Looks like they got back on it.
And that first mishap, a little miscue, playing a tough defense out of Buford. You don't want to give them any extra, I guess you call ammunition. Your whole goal is to move the ball forward, and I know they had no goal other than doing that. But you got to be careful with the football. Looks like he may have taken his eyes off of it for just a few minutes.
Well, and everybody's all jacked up and ready to go, and maybe some of those nerves got to him right there.
Oh, yeah, it's a big game. They know they're playing a big defense with Buford, who has not allowed a whole lot throughout the year. They're going to give it out to Moore, and Moore is going to get stuffed up at the line of scrimmage. He may cross over the 20, and all you hear is the big boos and the ahs coming across from that Buford sideline.
That's a big stop right there at the line. He may have gained a yard there.
Well, they're going to give him 2 on the spot, so third down and 12. And they're going to have Danny Riles, the big senior running back, coming over to the sideline. Hickey going to check in. Hickey, one of those backs that's rushed for quite a bit this year, has been able to find plenty of yards, and they're going to play action. McGee now rolling to his left is going to get tore up and sacked by the big linebacker coming off the end, Mikey Bart, listed as a defensive end, but somebody can move quite like that. I don't think you call him a defensive end. You call him a weapon.
No, not at all. He had just swallowed him up. That was a loss of 12 yards.
All the way back to the 10-yard line. Torrance rolling to his left, had nothing to go with as he was just bottled up. Coverage on the outside, coverage in the middle was perfect and where it needed to be. And you can't call that a coverage sack because Bart was on him as soon as the snap was underway.
Well, now Buford's going to have great field position.
It's a nice little spiral from the punt. Fair catch call, going to be taken at the 35. And they'll take over there with Montgomery Van Gorder, the other quarterback for Buford, who gets quite a bit of playing time, has done a good job for Buford throughout this season. Takes it at the 35, where it's going to be unbelievable field position, a punt of 35 yards from Carver. And there you'll have first down and 10 for Taylor Mitchell, the junior quarterback for Buford. You'll see quite a few different running backs in there. They run a strong offense led by Josh Cordiello, a big junior signee, University of Georgia. He'll be heading there next year. I know Georgia's excited about that. Going to run more out of a pro set, single back set. Sliding Dante Gordon over as the fullback. A little quick one out to the flats. And he's going to find him at the 30-yard line. Pass complete to Trey Neal, junior wide receiver, picking up about 5 yards near the 30-yard line. Well, they'll mark him to his second down and 5.
And he dropped that ball as he tried to turn upfield, and luckily it rolled right out of bounds for him. That could have been a big mistake right there.
Buford bringing quite a few folks here. If you know where Buford is, it's a good bit up the road, up I-85, up near the Mall of Georgia. And I don't know if all their fans are here, but I know their football team here. They got about 100 guys out there. Going to sweep it out to Wilson, and Wilson going to get swallowed up as he don't quite make it back to the line of scrimmage. We'll say it's a loss of a yard. And that'll make it third down and 6 yards for Buford at the Carver 31-yard line.
Well, I'd hate to, I have to say that it's going to be tough to get the ball outside tonight. You know, this Carver defense can fly around. Yeah,
you're right. I think both teams are going to be they're going to make it tough to score. And I know with the region that Carver was in, they didn't have a whole lot of defensive opposition except for Peach County, which they beat. And here on third down, going to throw one out to the left side, and he's just going to overthrow him. Pass intended for Trey Neal is going to be incomplete. And Talik Quarterman, TV.com. And also for your live scoring and highlights of GHSA football playoffs produced by Play On Sports, go to www.playonsports.com/GA football playoffs. And most importantly, have a good time out there. And I want to let you guys know the energy for the Georgia High School football playoffs is brought to you by the Georgia Peanut Farmers. And all you folks that love peanuts out there, you better enjoy the folks that make all this possible. And again, that's the brought to you by the Georgia's Peanut Farmers as we continue out through the playoffs.
All right, so here we go, 3rd and 1 see what Carver's going to do right here.
Carver's calling out to the band to be quiet. Sometimes you see these high school games where the referees are just letting everybody play. And now McGee going to get the guys up to the line of the scrimmage real quick. Going to send Hawkins in motion to the far side. He's got it the I formation. Making a few hard calls to see if he can pull anybody off sides. Cardiello at this nose tackle position, trying to get penetration. Buford does get through there, but it looks like Hicks is going to get the first down. They're marking him just beyond the 49-yard line, and I think Hicks is going to have enough for a Carver first down.
He got a pretty good spot right there. They initially had him stopped, but that second effort made it possible for them to get that first down. They're going to go ahead and bring the chains out and make sure of this, but I think he got it.
You know, Pat, what I wish they would do is go to like college football and NFL and have somebody paint that yellow line so you would know.
I think we can maybe work that out, get a kid to run across with the spray paint.
You just got to have somebody quick enough to get it off. You got to have a painter and an eraser. That could be high money, though. I don't know if anybody's willing to pay for that. We are here tonight at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium, and I can tell you right now, this is probably the best and prettiest stadium that I've ever been to as far as high school sports go.
It really is. It's a beautiful place. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better night. You got a beautiful stadium. You got two great football teams, a bunch of people packing in the stands. Tell you what, I'd love to have a helmet and some pads on right now out there banging around with these kids.
Yeah, this is football weather. It's just cold enough right here that you might need a little overcoat, but when you get out there and you get charged up, it's nothing like good, cool, crisp football weather. McGee now looking to the sideline to see if anything has changed with the coaches. Now going to sweep it out, and he gets it out to Thomas. Thomas finds the edge. He gets it across the 35, now up near the 30. And see where they mark him. It'll be close. It's going to be a first down.
There is
as
Laundry
Thomas
on the
found
field.
all he needed. You're right, Pat. There is Laundry on the field, and maybe that roll to the edge was a hold, and it was. But like we're saying, we're here in Columbus, Georgia. Right behind us is the beautiful Civic Center. Not too old here in Columbus. And across the way, you see the softball and baseball athletic complex. And if you continue looking beyond, you've got the river off in the distance and all the factories that line the riverway. So beautiful. But if you could halfway see what we see here, they got the Coliseum entranceway just like the Coliseum out there in California. Well, the hold going to back them up more than 10, just depending on where the spot was. So it'll be back 10. It's going to be first down and probably 21, 22 yards. And they've got a ways to go to get that first down. All the way up to the 29-yard line is what it's going to take. Is Torrance McGee, the junior quarterback, getting his guys up to the line. Again, if you're just joining us, glad you could be here tonight. Ralph Clark on the camera. Pat Ewart in for color commentation, and me again, Jason Shadden, bringing you the play-by-play for Play on Sports and GHSA TV. McGee going to find his man Marquis Hawkins out on a little wide receiver screen. What looked like he had a little bit of room, closed up pretty quick with Trey Neal jumping on him pretty quick and stopping it after about 5 or 6 yards. But that's going to get them up close to where they need to be. Second down and 15.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he had some room there initially, but those Wolves, they came after it, didn't they?
Yeah, Buford is a very fast team. We talked about it. It's going to be hard to get out on those perimeters. Those defensive backs are hard, coming at you hard. They run fast. And these programs are known just for good fundamental disciplined football, and they know where they need to be. They stick to their assignments, and, these coaches coach them up well. Coach McGee and Simpson have done a great job at both programs. The gives to the end around on Freeman. Freeman, again, trying to get to the edge, picks up, 2 or 3 yards again, stuffed by that Wolf defense, and it's going to leave them with third down and 11.
We got this is a great game going on here. There were some great games going on across the state tonight, and we'll be bringing you scores as we move on through this game as some great matchups in all classifications.
Oh, yeah, Camden County and Norcross, that's going to be an unbelievable football game. Very, very much too far for me to drive to see either one of them, but This one wasn't a close one either, but it's nice to be down here at a beautiful football facility.
Well, you can turn on your TV, go to CSS, and watch that game.
Yeah, exactly. Torrance McGee now finding a man. Oh, man, he almost had his man going deep. Draylon Freeman had broke loose from his defender at the 10-yard line. McGee put it over his head just a little bit too much, and that close to the first score of the night.
God, he had him wide open. There was a 3-yard separation between him and the corner.
Yeah, there's nothing harder, though, than throwing against the grain. You got to square your shoulders up. He did a pretty good job of that, but it looks like his momentum carried him too much and carried the ball as well. So, again, going to go for it here unless they decide to do a quick kick from McGee. The Wolves dropping some folks back. And that looks like he is going to do that. He steps back a few more, and he's just going to pooch it over the line. He kicks a high one. It's actually a pretty good punt. And he's got a gunner down there getting inside the 5. He's going to put it down on the 3 is where they're going to mark it. He touched it first at the 4, though. And I tell you what, Coach McGee gambled with the little rugby style. And that pooch pays off big for Carver.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for more than that.
So that's where Buford's going to start now. We saw it last week. Teams at Stockbridge, like Stockbridge, able to take it the distance. And Stockbridge in for a big one tonight against Marist. And we'll see who wins there. That's at Stockbridge High School. So Marist coming in with some firepower and in that triple option that they run in a very strong defense.
They had Marist had the top-rated defense in 4A this year. So it ought to be an exciting game up there for that Stockbridge offense.
Mitchell stands under center of the I formation. He's got 2 tight ends out there. Going to give it off to his big back, Dontravius Wilson. Wilson going to carry at 5, just goes off the right side inside guard and tackle and picks up 5, close to 6 yards. So it'll be second down and a long 4 to go. Guess you could say that Buford runs more of a traditional style, pro-style offense. They're sending guys on, sending guys off, keeping guys in the huddle, staying in a single-back set, 2 tight ends often. 1 or 2 wide receivers. Sliding the fullback out now. Now we're going to put him back in the backfield with Wilson. And Wilson going to get the give again. Goes laterally left, and he's pushing and pushing. He's going to push across the first down marker. He keeps them legs running. John Travius Wilson, the senior running back, also a linebacker, is a very big back. He's got pretty good speed, too, as he's one of the leading rushers for Buford. He picks up the first down.
I mean, he just powered his way. He carried 5 or 6 guys with him to pick up that last 3 yards, didn't he?
That's nothing like a power running game just to keep you excited. They're keeping the ball on the ground. The clock is moving pretty quick. We're already under 5 minutes here in the first quarter. It's been a pretty quick one. Both sides have traded punches here early. And this is the first time tonight the field position is flipped as Carver has put it down deep inside the Wolf territory. But they pick up a first down now up to the 17 and give it off to his back across the 20 up to the 21. Gain of about 3 or 4, second down and 6 for the Wolves as we cross under 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
You know, these quarters fly by when you don't have many penalties going on. You can tell when teams are disciplined and they do a good job fundamentally and they're not jumping off sides. And, you know, games can drag on when teams are fumbling around and getting penalties called on them left and right.
Yeah, you're right. It's real tough to sit and watch a football game where you throw 14,000 passes and only 2 of them are complete throughout the whole game. It keeps the clock running and running and running. Then the penalties for just lack of discipline out there. But these are 2 teams that probably not going to see a whole lot of penalties on the night as he fakes the give and now gives it off to his back coming off left side. And that's going to be Wilson again carrying the load up to the 25. It'll make it 2 yards to go to get the first down, but that's what you need to do, just kind of drive and drive and drive. This big offensive line for Buford, it looks like they may have the size advantage over Carver, but, you know, at the distance of where we are, it's still, you got to wear down. You got big guys up front. Just wear it down, wear it down, wear it down, and sometimes you just take the game in the second half. Buford going to hustle up to the line real quick out of the I formation, giving it off to the fullback, and he is going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. And they may give him 1 yard, but that's still going to leave him about 1.5 yards short. And it looks like that Coach Simpson's going to decide to punt this one away and try and get it out of Wolf territory. And that looks like what he's going to do.
Yeah, this is definitely not 4-down territory right here.
Nah. Moore and pass going to go back the lone safety, standing beyond their own 50-yard line. Carver going to spread everything out. Now they're going to call another timeout, so that's The use of 2 timeouts already, because I know there's no TV timeouts with us. We go with the flow. So another timeout is called here on 4th down and 2. 2:43 left in the first quarter, and we'll let Pat take you to a few scores across the state.
All right, right now in the first quarter, we got Norcross over Camden County, 7-0. We also have Gainesville versus Harris County. Gainesville's up 7-0 on them. Tucker, Northside, Warner Robins. Tucker is up 7-0. North Cobb, Mill Creek. North Cobb is leading that one 7-0. So we're still early on, but these teams are finding the end zone pretty quick. Burke County, Sandy Creek. Burke leading Sandy 7-0. So, Sandy Creek is 12-0 and very strong football team. That'll be an interesting game to keep an eye on.
You had a chance to see Sandy Creek early in the year. DeMario Kitt and a few of those big receivers they have over there at Sandy Creek. I know it's early, but Burke County known for a good, strong defense. I guess a strong, fundamentally sound team as well. Big, strong guys. As the punt is away, and that is a beautiful long punt and high. Going to take him back at the 40. Fair catch called there at the 37. He put a foot into that when he kicks it 40-plus yards for Buford. Does a good job of closely flipping the field, but he gets at least back into Carver territory and let his defense play a little bit more.
Yeah, this field position game, has gone back and forth now. It's not one team dominating the other in the field position.
This is almost what you expect to see in high school playoff football instead of teams that are, knocking folks out early. Camden's not had any trouble so far in their state playoffs, and neither really has any of these teams. Buford stepping on Cedar Grove pretty quick, and Carver doing the same thing. And now these two teams that are, powerhouses are meeting. It's going to be a slugfest until someone makes an adjustment and figures something out.
Well, you get to this stage of the game, and everybody's good.
McGee's going to find his man inside the 50-yard line. Beautiful pass as he's able to find Draylon Freeman just coming back on a little stop route. And good coverage, but I tell you, McGee just put it right where it needed to be.
Well, and Draylon did a heck of a job of coming back to the football. He squeezed in front of that defender at the last minute to take the ball right out of his hands.
That's the second catch for Freeman, the junior wide receiver, 6 foot, 160 pounds. Not always what you call as one of the bigger receivers, but that's a good height in high school football. Is McGee now going to give it off to his back, Hickey, and Hickey going to get about a yard and get forced down. Cardiello and a few other Buford Wolves in on the stop.
Tell you what, that Buford defensive line has done a great job stopping anything trying to come up that middle.
Yeah, 1 yard gain only. It's going to be 2nd down and 9 as we're about to go under 2 minutes in the first quarter here at McClung Memorial Stadium in Columbus, Georgia. Not the home, I guess it is the home stadium. This is the City Stadium, and they've got a beautiful facility here in Columbus, Georgia. McGee switching things up in the backfield now with him, Brandon Thomas, the senior. Now McGee looking for something to do with it, and they're going to bottle him up. He's going to have to take a loss and give the tackle to Dion King. Linebacker sliding out there, forcing him out, stretching the field. And with a speedy quarterback, that's all you got to do, and that's what you have to do, is spread him out, make him run laterally. Don't give him anything vertical.
Absolutely, and it looked like he wanted to throw that screen, but Buford had it covered beautifully.
Another big defensive stop needed from Buford here as they line up with 3 down linemen, now 4. And they put the nickel package in to defend this. They've got 3 receivers to the right. Carver's got another one to the left. As McGee is calling out the change. Buford showing blitz, and off it comes. And he's going to give off a little draw to his back, looking for room to run. That's Mario Moore, the sophomore back. Going to pick up about a yard. That's about all he's going to get. So that'll be 4th down and 7. Or maybe 4th down and 8. Yeah, looks like 4th down and 8, and Carver now going to have to punt. Going to send Nate Barley back. Nate Barley, a double-duty player. Some teams are lucky enough to have special teams guys. And Buford, I know, has a punter that pretty much punts. And he's going to kick one straight up in the air, and it's going to come back down, and Buford just needs to get out of the way and let it bounce. And the punt of 15 yards. And tell you what, if that had been a pass, it would have been a 1st down for Carver.
Yeah, that is, they're still on this side of the 50, but that's given Buford some good field position once again.
Yeah, the field position battle is going to keep coming back and forth as to the one who has, so far, it looks like the one who's going to make the least mistakes. And it's been a slugfest so far. Both teams going back and forth as they're discussing where the spot of the ball is going to be. There's 1:02 left in the first quarter here, and they're actually calling, the officials are letting Buford know they need to step back away. And that's always a big issue in high school sports, is keeping the players back behind the line. I actually had a chance to go to Athens and watch Georgia play, and they actually had to stop, and the officials had to ask the college players to get back too.
Just a little update real quick. Gainesville's jumped up on Harris County 15-0. Burke and Sandy Creek are now tied at 7-7. Thompson over Cartersville over Thompson right now 7-0. And Ridgeland's beating Mary Pearson's 7-0. Washington County putting up 2 touchdowns right now on St. Pius. They're up 14-3. That's going to be a great
surprise.
ball game. Peach County's losing right now to North Hall 14-7. Early County's losing to GAC 9-0. So we'll keep you updated on scores as we go along.
The penalty going to back Buford up, so it's a good. It works out fine for Carver as they're going to back them all the way up to the 24-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 from there. 1:02 left in the first quarter, and Buford getting their third possession of the night. It's been pretty much 3 and out. Buford picking up a few first downs as well as Carver picking up a few.
Well, and Carver's defensive line, as I bragged on Buford's, Carver's defensive line has done a great job of stuffing up that middle, and linebackers and DBs are filling gaps. I'm telling you, this is going to be a defensive battle here tonight, Jason.
Yeah, no right. Watley in on the stop for Carver. You're watching down on that defensive line. Those defensive linemen are just crashing down on those big offensive linemen, trying to get at their ankles a little bit and try and disrupt what could happen and not being pushed around in the middle. So far, doing a good job of that. The gain of 3 will make it second down and 7. They're up quick, and they're moving quick now as he throws it out to his receiver and overthrows him quite a bit. Trey Neal, the intended receiver, so that'll be third down and 7. Trying to move it quick. There are 29 seconds left in the first quarter, and just trying to speed it up a little bit, trying to catch him off guard. Didn't work. And now they're left with a long third down. So on a long third down, going to stretch everybody out. Grant Hall and Neal come to the near side. Twin receivers. Now going to send Hoaxie out to the left. Now rolling to his right, little reverse screen, finding his fullback. He's going to have enough for the first down as he just leans across. That's the fullback. We're actually listed as a tight end. Mikey Bart, the big D lineman earlier who had the big sack for Buford, picks up a big first down on a tight end screen.
I tell you what, I love that play, the little tight end throwback. It is such an excellent play. Everybody's looking out for those slot receivers and those halfbacks that are going out in motion for a screen, and forget about that tight end. And in high school football, the tight end can be the most powerful player coming across the middle and things like that, and be able to dump the ball off to.
He's lined up to the right side this time, trying to pave a way for Wilson, and Wilson going to get swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. As we've got a flag down, we'll check the flag before we head to the second quarter. And if anything, it might be an early start for Buford. It's right on the line of scrimmage, unless it's offsides called against Carver. But, of course, no idea until they give us official word. It is a holding call. It happened on first down. That's going to back them up 10. So it'll be first down and 20 as the hold at the line of scrimmage. So I guess, Will, do we have one more play of the first quarter, or do they end it?
Well, the holding call, I think they end it.
Going to back them up, and it is going to, of course, the hold going to be first down and 20. I tell you what, this place is more and more professional. I just now, for the first time, have ever been to a high school football game where I can actually hear what the official's saying.
Yeah. So they are going to give them one last play here.
So one last play is first down and 20 as we end out the first quarter. This will be the last play, barring any type of penalty or anything else. Out of the I formation, going to fake it to his back, little play action, going to find his fullback at the 30. Makes a man miss around the 35, going to take him at the 36. Up. That is the 36. It'll be 2nd down and 9. We get back to the second quarter. Before we take a break and head to the second quarter, just want to remind you to join the conversation about high school sports. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Play On Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. For all the best coverage of Georgia football throughout the playoffs, you can go to WSBTV.com. And again, for live scoring and highlights of GHSA football playoffs produced by Play On Sports, go to www.playonsports.com/Georgia Football Playoffs. And we want to give a big thank you out to the Georgia's Peanut Farmers, the energy for the Georgia High School Football Playoffs, all brought to you by Georgia's Peanut Farmers. We'll be
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
a holding call ended up the first quarter as we're now in the second quarter. It'll be 2nd down and 9. On a pass out to the fullback. Brings us into the second quarter. If you're just joining us here at Carver and Buford High School in the quarterfinals of the Georgia High School playoffs, we're Play On Sports, and we bring you GHSA TV and high school sports throughout the week. And the give is to Wilson, and there he goes across the 45 up near the 50. The big man carries it all the way to the 49-yard line. And I tell you what, Thomas Wilson, the big back, when he finds a hole and gets any kind of head of steam, he's somebody hard to bring down.
He is, and he had a big hole to run through right there. That offensive line of Buford did a great job of opening that up in the middle for him.
Taylor Mitchell now going to bring the play in, the junior quarterback, having a good season so far. Split some time with number 14, Montgomery Van Gorder, who's also a junior quarterback. It's got to be a tough situation to be both a junior and doing both a great job, being very comparable quarterbacks.
Well, it's a nice problem to have.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You know, if you get one go down, the other one can step right in. So we got a timeout from Buford.
Well, we'll take a timeout with them and let you know what's happening across the state in high school sports.
As we update the scores, big one right now, North Hall over Peach, 21-7. Lamar County is beating up on Lovett a little bit, 13-0. We'll see if Lovett can't get back in there. Now, St. Pius has brought it back. They're down 14-10 to Washington County. GAC still leading Early County 9-0. Brooks is losing to Calhoun right now, 14-7. First Presbyterian and Landmark, 7-7. They're all tied up. Prince Avenue up 14-0 over Athens Academy. And Wilcox County over Marion, 14-0. We'll keep you updated as we keep moving along in these games. You've got great football on, and Marist Stockbridge right now is 0-0.
All right, thank you very much, Pat. We're back here from the timeout. 1st down and 10 for Buford, just inside the 50-yard line. Mitchell now going to roll out to his right, looking for room to throw, or now just going to pull it down and run. Slides past one. Going to get sandwiched up around the 41-yard line. Going to be enough for the first down as he made one man miss. And I'll tell you, you hate to see anything like that happen to Carver because the coverage they had that time was beautiful, but it just opened up that lane for Mitchell to run in.
They had a couple deep outs and routes on that side, and it just opened up those sidelines for him to run upfield a little bit.
Yeah, he don't look like quite the mobile quarterback that McGee is, but I tell you, when you got that kind of room to run, you pick it up. He picks up 11 yards and a big first down for them. As we looked at the scores, one that's kind of caught my attention, Savannah Christian, always one of the big dogs in single A football. Plenty of state championships to go around down there. Down 13-0 right now to Eagles Landing Christian Academy out of McDonough.
Well, and another good one is Cartersville still leading Thompson 7-0. Thompson, the number 1 seed and number 1 team out of AAA at 12-0, and Cartersville 12-0 also. That's a heck of a matchup up there in Cartersville.
You know, I know Camden County at Norcross, they're tied up 7-7. I know Camden County, they've done it all. They do it all the time, but I'm sure expecting with Norcross, probably hoping that they could just run over Norcross, but Norcross is a strong football team.
Norcross has a couple running backs. One of them, I believe, is committed to Georgia, and the other is a junior and is just as good. So Camden County's got their hands full with Norcross.
The sweep out to the big back, Xavier Hoaxie this time, the junior running back, and he's going to carry it 8 yards, and he gets it up near a first down, up across the 35 to the 34-yard line. And a big first down run for Buford. And they're starting to move the chains a little bit and relying on some of those interior runs. It looks like when you sweep like that you're sweeping it outside, but they're cutting it back inside that tackle, and they're picking up some big yards in the interior line.
I tell you what, and when you have defenses that run hard to the ball, those cutback lanes are wide open.
We'll see what they decide to do with Mitchell again. Going to play action now. Look for somebody. He's got a man going down the sideline. They're fighting for it. Makes a big catch at the 5-yard line, but he drops it. I tell you what, he found his man. He goes to him all night long. Trey Neal, the big wide receiver, goes up ahead of him and can't come down with it. I hate to get excited like that, but I love good plays.
Well, and you had great coverage there. I mean, that young man right there was all over him. That would have been a heck of a catch.
Well, it still brings up a short third down. It'll be 3rd down and 2. And we got a few boos out there. I'm not sure what the Boo Birds are out for. It looked like a good defensive play knocking it loose.
It definitely was. There was no pass interference. A great call by the referees, and I think Buford just, they wanted the call.
Yeah, they definitely did. 1 man in motion coming back behind the fullback. Gibbs going to be to the big man going across the line. He's definitely got the first down up near the 31-yard line. Tell you, those are those nerve-wracking plays. You hope your defense can make the stop, but those big running backs are coming ahead of steam. They're already picking up 2 or 3 yards and hustling right at them. They're just leaning across and getting these big yards.
Well, and we commented earlier on the defensive line. It's starting to look like the Buford offensive line is starting to take over in the trenches a little bit.
Well, there is a size differential down there. I know that a lot of the offensive linemen, it isn't always by size, but, eventually it does work down on you. Guys like 5'10", 230 pounds, 205 pounds, another guy 6'5", 200, and they're going against guys like Cordiello, big senior offensive lineman who is only near 300 pounds. Mitchell now going to roll out looking for his tight end, and he can't come up with it. Looks like he may have gotten rid of that one a little sooner than he wanted to. A little bit of pressure in his face as he found Cameron Poole, the big tight end, trying to sit inside that left flats and incomplete.
He had 2 guys wide open right there, and I tell you what, if he could have put that on the numbers, number 44 would have cut up field and had a big gain, may have even reached the end zone.
Yeah, it was like a double tight end set there. Mikey Bart, the other tight end on the play, along with Cameron Poole, just kind of sitting in these flats over here around the 20-yard line. Really plenty of yards to find him. He just didn't square up and get him the football out there to him. So on 2nd down, Mitchell under center. He's got one back in the one back set. Now he's going to roll, and he's got some pressure on him. He's going to have to get rid of it. He's got a guy throwing deep to the end zone. That's him again. Going to be incomplete. Looking for Trey Neal again. Apparently Trey Neal is quite a catch for Buford, just a junior, but they look his way quite a bit. The junior wide receiver plays defensive back as well. He's been the intended target just about every single time.
Well, he was covered very well right there. Step for step, they were with each other, and he just ran out of room.
Yeah, good coverage out there by Talik Quarterman. Quarterman, a junior as well for Carver's done a good job. And it looks like there's a flag down on the field. And again, another holding call going to be called against Buford. And I tell you what, as soon as they get a two or 3 steps forward, they're taking about 5 or 6, now 10, because every one of them's been a holding call. They're taking quite a few steps back, and that's killing them.
It is. And we talked earlier about how quick the first quarter went because of lack of penalties, and here we are, only a few minutes into the second quarter, and we've already racked up as many penalties as we did the entire first quarter.
Yeah, so we're down to 9:25, still zeros on the board. Now Carver doing it a little bit different, got a kind of a wildcat formation in here. They're going to give it to, looks like number 25, Hoaxie. And Hoaxie, I'm not sure exactly what the trickeration was there. But I can tell you what, that Carver didn't buy any of it.
No, they were all over that.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 20. And this is one of those situations here. You can play field position and pin them back deep again, or do you throw one deep with Carver sitting back deep and risk an interception? I guess it's as good as a punt.
Yeah, I mean, you can take a shot and go ahead, and then you got the punt to pin them in. I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
Miles going to stretch out to the far side, kneel to the near side, out of the shotgun formation. Mitchell now going to take one, throw it deep across the middle, and it's going to be picked off at the 35. He's got room to the 40. He's only got a few men to beat, and they're not going to catch him, Pat, to the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, and the defense puts him on the board.
Unbelievable. He overthrew that. He led his man too much, and that corner was sitting right on it.
Yeah, Keontae Walton, the junior defensive end, I tell you what, they wanted to catch him, but there wasn't going to be any of that as these fans are going nuts over here. Mitchell just, I don't know if he anticipated a route or there's a mix-up out there, but I think it looked like he just eyed him down and threw it right in his hands.
I tell you what, and he broke 2 tackles and was off to the races. Yeah,
60-yard interception return with 8:30 left in the second quarter. And Carver strikes first. As we talked about earlier, Buford known for that defense, but Carver has nonetheless showed that they can play defense as well.
There's no doubt about it.
Awaiting the PAT, the infamous PAT, as the kick is up, and it's down City Street. It's good. It's 7-0. And we'll take another break as we get ready to kick it off, and Buford will take over in just a moment.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're going to come at you.
One shot at this.
You know, Pat, we're talking during the quick break we took there, and I know it's sometimes hard for you guys to see there on the televisions as we get to see the whole field as it's going down. But I tell you what, Keontae Walton, as he intercepted that ball, there were about 3 or 4 guys that had an angle on him. And if you know anything about angles, you can angle a guy off and knock him down and not be as fast as they are. But their angle was nowhere even close to stopping this kid. As soon as he got going, that joker was gone.
I don't think they knew the speed of that young man. I don't think anybody else did either, except for maybe him, because he hit once he broke that tackle, no angle was going to get to him.
No, there's no way. That kid, a beautiful return for the first touchdown of the night to Carver. As now Carver going to kick it off, and he's going to take it at the 15. And looking for a little room to run, about 10 yards on the return for David Curry. Sophomore running back for Buford. Takes it up to the 26-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 from their own 26, and we're down to 8:25 left in the first half.
Well, we finally got a goose egg off the board. So let's see what Buford can do, see if they can put something together and put a drive together and get some points up there themselves.
Well, as far as the Big Mo is concerned, it definitely slid Carver's way in a matter of 2 or 3 seconds that it took Walton to run it down and get the first score of the night for Carver. So still in tight, 2 tight ends out of the I, 1 tight end now out of the I formation. There is 2 tight ends, 1 receiver out. And the give going to be to Wilson again, and Wilson again just driving and driving and driving. Even when it looks like they've got him, he's still picking up yards. Up near the 30-yard line to the 29.
Carver's linebacker just did a fantastic job. He saw that hole open up, and he went in there and met the running back right in time. There's a flag down.
The first penalty of the night now going against Carver is going to be a personal foul. Face mask called. So the negative plays turn in a little positive is going to mark them off 15 yards and a first down for Buford.
Well, and that's not what you want if you're Carver right there. You have a great play, a great stop, and then all of a sudden they get a first down.
Yeah, that first down, you hate to give up first downs that are definitely not earned. And just one little hand on the face mask, and in the high school football there is no inadvertent face mask. If you do it, you do it. It's 15 yards.
And it is hard as a defensive player. You're not meaning to grab somebody's face mask. It just happens.
Yeah, I know when I played. I mean, sometimes that's the easiest thing to grab. It's the closest thing to you. So if it stops them from getting there, I know a lot of times guys are grabbing face masks because Wilson's going to get the give again. And, again, the big guy taking it up 5 yards up to the 48-yard line. And a few yards on the carry now going to give him second down and 5. And as we talked about earlier, if they can minimize some of these penalties, these holding penalties, that'll back them up. Wilson's giving them these carries that they need. You just chew it up. You're 2 or 3 yards every time, 4 or 5 yards. You get your first downs and move it in the end zone.
Yeah. 3 yards, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, right?
Yeah, exactly. 7.5, going to bring Mikey Bart from the fullback position now. 2 tight ends on the play. And the give to Wilson. Wilson's going to find a hole and lean across, getting close to the first down marker. Excuse me, let me check that. That's Quinn Davis. Quinn Davis close to a first down.
He's going to be just shy a yard.
Do you see the yellow line?
I do.
Yeah.
I can visualize it.
Well, the clock is ticking away. I'm not sure they know that the clock is still rolling there. They're going to stop it. And it looks like maybe they are going to call out for measurements. So while they measure, we'll let you know what's happening on the scoreboard.
Well, interesting game. North Gwinnett, Lovejoy. Both teams 11-1, and they are at 0-0 right now. You got a defensive battle going on down there. Stevenson, Ware County tied up at 0. That's going to be a heck of a ball game. Mill Creek's up 14-7 on North Cobb. Tucker's up 7-3 on Northside Warner Robins. And if you remember last year, they met in the semifinals. Tucker won on a 101-yard fumble recovery when they were down by 6, kicked a field goal, and they went on to win the state championship last
there's
year.
nothing like a good fumble return for 101 yards to win a ball game.
I mean, Northside was about to put the game away. There was 2.5 minutes left, and all of a sudden Tucker comes up with that. But you got Gainesville up 22-7 on Harris County. Sandy Creek leading 14-7 over Burke. And we'll get more scores to you a little bit later.
Peach County from 2 AAA in trouble. They're down right now early in the second quarter. That's the other 2 AAA team. As we have a new quarterback in, Montgomery Van Gorder finds an open receiver across the 40-yard line, gets freed up as he makes a nice escape to get the ball away on first down, close to another first down. As we went out to let you know the scores, it was a first down for Buford. Nice play from Montgomery Van Gorder. Again, they're switching quarterbacks up quite a bit here. For Buford, the Wolves have 2 guys that are fully capable of running this football team. And Van Gorder in now, as he's going to now stand under center out of the I formation. Thomas, the deep back.
You don't see too many teams running 2 quarterbacks in high school.
No, definitely not. Well, there's the give out to Thomas, and Thomas makes good first initial contact but continues on across the 35 up to the 32-yard line. It would be way more than enough to pick up the first down.
And again, just like we said, Buford's just plugging along, picking up first downs. If they can hold off on the penalties, they're going to put some points on the board.
Yeah, you don't have to throw the football to win a football game. You know, they're burning the clock out. They've had the ball for about
3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 or 4 minutes already. We're down to 6 minutes left in the half. You burn the clock out, and you take a little of that momentum that Carver just had running at 60 yards for a score and kind of even out that momentum here on the home field for Carver. Van Gorder now going to throw a bullet across the middle, but nobody there to throw it to. Looking for Grant Hall, but Grant Hall is about 10 yards short of catching that pass. It'll be incomplete and 2nd down and 10.
I think he just got a little excited there and overthrew that ball.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he saw that open guy. He was open.
Yeah.
But maybe he wanted him to be a little more open, a little further away.
Well, it was a great route. Kid ran a great post pattern and got inside of his defender, and the ball was just overthrown.
So 2nd down and 10. Clock stops at 5:51. A lot of 2 tight end sets for Buford as they're trying to free up the runs for these big backs as they give a little misdirection. He finds a hole across the 30 up near the 25-yard line. Nice recovery for Hoaxie as he puts some yardage on the board. They've done a good job with this offensive line, and we've said it over and over and over again. This interior line is doing a good job of getting the push. Even on one play, they may stop them for 2 or 3 yards. They go right back to it, and they pick up 7 or 8.
Well, and they're having a lot of success on this little counter play. It's the fake toss, and he cuts back. They pull that guard to kick out the end, and it's wide open.
So it's going to bring up a short 3rd down. Got to go about 3 yards to pick it up. Line to gain is the 22. Hoaxie going to take it on the Wildcat. He's definitely got the first down as he takes it across the 20 inside the 15. Looks like he's going to be at about the 13-yard line. And that's going to be a nice run from Hoaxie. They tried it earlier before at 2nd down and 20. It didn't work, but it definitely worked this time.
Well, they're knocking on the door, and they have another opportunity to get a first down here.
There's nothing like having a football, as an offensive coordinator, having an opportunity to pick up a first down inside the 10-yard line and give yourself more opportunity and more downs to punch it in.
And eating up the clock.
Exactly. They've already got it down to 4 minutes and 45 seconds. They've almost burned a full 5 minutes off the clock since they've had it.
And they're just going to keep powering it up the middle until Carver can stop it. And I think that's a smart game plan right now. They're having some success with it. Why not stick with it?
You're giving it off to Dante Gordon. Lines up more as the fullback for Buford. Picks up about 1.5 yards. He's 2nd down and 8. That's one way you can keep a very fast team off the field, and that's to keep the ball.
I think that's their goal right now. Keep that offensive Carver off the field. They've got too many weapons.
Yeah, definitely a lot of speed out there for them. 3 receivers. Cameron Poole going to come to the near side. Lines up, or listed, as a receiver. That's David Curry. Now he's going to throw one on a little fade route to Neal, and he makes the catch, but it's way out of the end zone. Again, going to Neal, so now you're in a long 3rd down situation. Again, you're burning them up on the inside, so you've got 4 downs to do it here. I know it's way early. You don't have to kick a field goal yet. I mean, you don't have to go for it yet. Maybe you take the points, but with big guys like, Wilson and Hoaxie, I mean, you wonder. You got to run it.
And you got to give credit, too, to Carver's. These corners have done a heck of a job of staying with these Buford receivers. Every ball that's been thrown deep, they're throwing a defender right there to cover it.
Yeah, they're locking them down on the outside, and they're doing a good job doing it as they change up the wide receivers as Hoaxie comes back again in the Wildcat formation. He's going to keep it, go right up the gut, and they're going to swallow him up this time just before the 10 at the 11-yard line, and they sniffed that one out, and it's just like every time you see it in college sports when Arkansas used to do it the first time they ever did it. It was a pretty cool idea, but now everybody does it.
We got a flag on the play. False start on the offense.
Tell you what, those penalties have been the Achilles heel for the Buford Wolves so far tonight.
It has been, and it's the Achilles heel of plenty of football programs across all levels.
Well, if you're Carver here, doesn't have a whole lot to lose here. I guess the end zone, of course, but your corners are doing a good job of locking up coverage. You might want to pin your ears back here and throw some guys in on a blitz and try and stop them even further out and push them out of field goal range.
Well, if you want to, you can tell those Carver coaches down there just what to do. I think they might like that.
They might be watching us. Hoaxie now going to take it again, going to try and run up the gut, and there he's sniffed out again. A good stop from Gerald Williams, the big senior linebacker, makes a wonderful stop on Hoaxie, drops him for a loss of 2 yards. It'll be 4th down and 15 as we will see the field goal unit step out on the field for Buford.
Well, you run it 3 or 4 times when the guy comes into play, and sooner or later they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, I do it on PlayStation a lot, but the computer has not figured me out yet. I'm a national champ on PlayStation.
Do you get a trophy for that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Matthew Bonadise, the sophomore place kicker, for 35 yards. The kick is more than long enough. He kicked it about 2 or 3 miles. It's good. It puts them on the board. Their goose egg is gone. It's 7-3, 3:03 left in the first half here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium.
Let's get you some scores again from around the state. See what we've got going on in the 3rd round of the playoffs, quarterfinals here in Georgia. You got North Gwinnett and Lovejoy still locked up at zeros. Ware County has now gone up on Stevenson 7-0. Mill Creek still up 21-7 on North Cobb. Norcross down to Camden right now, 14-7. Camden rallied back. Colquitt's losing to Parkview 7-0. And Tucker still up on Northside Warner Robins 7-3. Gainesville 22-7 over Harris. Whitewater 14-0 over Allatoona. And Monroe area taking it to South Effingham, 24-0 in the second quarter. Sandy Creek still up 14-7 on Burke. Ridgeland shutting out Mary Pearson's. And I tell you what, I thought Mary Pearson's, they had a heck of a football team as they went down and went into overtime with Cairo last week. 0-0, ended up winning 3-0.
Bonady's going to kick it off for Buford. Going to be taken by Thomas as he's trying to switch up field and make a little bit happen. Going to return it for a little over 5 yards up to the 15. Great kickoff coverage for Buford. Is a good kick from Bonady's. He kind of directional kick down beyond the 10-yard line. I tell you what, if you can actually get a kicker that can do the directional kick and keep it in bounds, that's actually a weapon that most people don't even know about.
It's tough to keep it in bounds.
Because there's a lot of kids that in high school football that'll just catch it instead of noticing that it's going to carry out. They put it in their hands and try and run with it, and they've got already 2 or 3 guys sitting right on top of them.
Well, and it's a tough catch to make because you're on the run trying to go get that ball.
Well, Carver's got 2 minutes and 58 seconds to punch it down. From their own 15, going to throw it out on a screen and almost picked off.
He threw that a little bit behind him.
And that could have been more than disastrous as he finds Mario Moore, the sophomore, gets his paw on it, but almost ensures that Buford picks it up, and that incompletion going to make it 2nd down and 10. And we almost got to see Buford carry a little momentum there.
Down in this area, that is a disaster if all of a sudden Buford picks that ball off because they can walk right into that end zone.
McGee joined in the backfield by the sophomore Mario Moore. He's got 2 receivers to the right. He's got 1 to the left, and he's going to switch Moore over now to his left. As he takes it now, and he's going to run off to the left, and we've got a stoppage of play, and probably the coach ran over and called timeout, and he did. So while he takes a timeout, I want to remind you guys about joining us on Facebook and Twitter at Play on Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. Again, be sure to follow us and join the conversation about high school sports by following us on Facebook and Twitter at Play on Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. And for all the best coverage of Georgia football throughout the playoffs, go to WSBTV.com. That's WSBTV.com. And for live scoring and highlights of GHSA football playoffs produced by Play on Sports, go to www.playonsports.com/GA football playoffs. And again, energy for the Georgia High School football playoffs is brought to you by the Georgia Peanut Farmers.
Back to some scores across the state. Marist now up 3-0 on Stockbridge in the second quarter. North Hall still leading Peach 24-10. Washington County up 21-17 on St. Pius. That's going to be a heck of a ball game. Everybody needs to keep an eye on that one. That's in the second quarter. Jefferson leading Fitzgerald 14-10.
Back from the timeout, the bands are starting to get set up. Buford High School bringing their band with them all the way from way north up on 85. They're going to put a show on, and I guess the Carver band will also be going on pretty soon as McGee going to keep it himself, looking for room to run. Runs it out of bounds across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Pick up above maybe 8 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2. McGee keeping it himself, and so far, we talked about the explosiveness of this Carver offense, and it is explosive, but it's just as explosive defense down there from Buford. And a lot of these big runs we hear about just haven't seen yet.
No, they're having trouble up the middle. This Buford, you look at this Buford defensive line, and there are some stout boys in there that are clogging that middle up and making it tough for Carver to get anything going up the middle.
McGee out of the shotgun formation. He's got a 3rd down and 3 as he takes it, keeps it himself, looking for the right sideline. He's going to get it across the 25. Actually going to mark him just inside the 25, and that's not going to be enough for a 1st down. That's going to leave him short of about 1.5 yards. I know Coach McGee probably wishing he would have got a better mark on that from the official, but that leaves him way short, and they're going to have to punt.
I know that Coach had to think about that one for a minute, but you do not want to give Buford 2 minutes and 41 seconds left inside your own 30.
Well, they've only got 1 yard to go to get the 1st down. Torrance McGee going to punt it away for Carver. Neal back deep as the safety about his own 50-yard line as the kick is away, and there's a flag down, and I think there's going to be movement on Carver, and that illegal procedure will back them up 5. If I'm Buford, I may make them do it again.
No doubt about it. Back them up 5. That's 5 more yards closer to your end zone.
We'll wait and see what the official says, and it is going to be an illegal substitution. So they will repeat 4th down, and that'll back them up 5 and hope for even better field position. .232 left here in the first half. We are at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium in Columbus, Georgia, down I-185, just beyond the Georgia-Alabama line. The beautiful facilities here. Big thanks out to Carver High School and the city of Columbus for letting us come down here and broadcast this football game for you guys by Play on Sports on GHSA.TV as you get high school playoffs and the best coverage. McGee gets a good punt away, a nice high punt, fair catch. Going to be called by Montgomery Van Gorder, the quarterback. He calls it at his 44-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 from there. And we'll see if Van Gorder stays on. Actually, no, he's going off. And Taylor Mitchell, who started the contest for Buford, back on, where he'll bring the Wolves up. He's got 2 minutes and 26 seconds to take it in the end zone, but a short field to do it. Only needs 45 yards to pick up a score, and this would be ideal for them to punch it in and take momentum to the locker room.
No doubt about it, and even if it's just a field goal, just to get a little bit closer, get some points on the board.
Mitchell now going to take it and give it off to Wilson. Wilson trying to squeeze through. He gets it up to the 50-yard line. The yards carry looks around 6 yards, and they'll leave him short 4 to get the 1st down. So 2nd down and 4 as the clock continues to roll. Got to be a little bit more urgent here. You can't huddle up quite as long here because you want to be able to punch it down and have an opportunity, though they do have 2 timeouts, but they hadn't been throwing the ball super well. So you got to be quick up to the line and get the play rolling. 2 receivers to the left. Now going to send Wilson off in motion to the right side, and he's throwing one out to his tight end, Bart. Bart going to make the catch at the 40. Get it up to the 36-yard line. That'll stop the clock long enough.
There he is, a big tight end, making another great play for Buford.
Matthew Bonadies, the kicker for Buford, has quite a leg. I'm not sure how long he can kick it, but just from the last kick that he kicked, I would say he's got at least 40 yards on his kick.
There's no doubt about it. He can put it 40.
1:33 and the clock is rolling. Give is going to be to Wilson. Wilson for looking for room to run, and he runs out of it. Picks up about a yard. Now going to have to get up quick. Brandon Watton Corbett on the stop for George Washington Carver. So 2nd down and 9. 1:10 left in the first half. 3 receivers now for Buford, 2 left, 1 right. And Mitchell looking quick over to the sidelines. He's going to find Neal, who makes the catch, and then he drops it. And great coverage again from Carver and Talik Quarterman, who's done a great job all night long. It's been Keontae Walton and Talik Quarterman who have held down their spots and not letting receivers get anything.
I tell you what, he caught that ball, and the defender did a great job of taking his legs out from under him because it was the landing on his back that caused that ball to pop out of his hands.
Yeah, no doubt. He's going to head over the sidelines and probably catch a quick breather and get that breath back. It's hard to get hit like that and drop and get back up and do it again. Carver leading at 7-3, 1:01 left in the first half. It's a long 3rd down and 9. As Mitchell takes a snap, he's looking for his man out in the flats, and he can't make the catch. In and out of his hands, Thomas Wilson out of the backfield. And that's going to bring up a long 4th down, and I don't know that he's got the foot from here. If I'm going to do anything, I'm less than a minute. I'm going to pooch it down and try and get it inside the 5, inside the 10, and make them go a long ways. Because if he can kick it from here, that's a long 50-er.
That's a 47, 48-yard field goal.
Yeah, I don't know what they got. Some kids can do it in high school. But they're going to just elect a punt instead. He's at his 50. And Carver not willing to give in to anything as they've just sent a few guys up to the line of scrimmage. Nice punt from Caradies. It's going to land inside the 10. Take a beautiful bounce where they're waiting at the 1-yard line.
Wow.
And special teams, I tell you what, Caradies, man, you want to put some stickers on his helmet. That guy's definitely got the special teams figured out.
He definitely has that short punt figured out.
Well, you can figure that Carver not going to do anything super spectacular here. 47.7 to go. Buford has 2 timeouts. They can get the ball back if they, force it here. But Carver back on the 1 yard line. If I'm Buford, I'm these boys down on the line. I'm going to try and get as much push as I possibly can and maybe get that safety. We'll see what they elect to do. They've got 1 safety back. And everybody else down in the box trying to stop the run. McGee just going to lean forward, pick up 2 or 3 yards up to the 4 yard line. Great job by McGee. And that's going to take the clock under 40 seconds. And I think both coaches may be satisfied to keep some of these timeouts in their pocket, take it to the half, and readjust.
Well, it'd be one thing if they were out around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you're inside your 5. You're satisfied with maybe putting a knee down on the ground here.
Well, and Carver's happy going in up 7-3 at half.
Going to go back under center. He's got 6 on the clock, now 5. And he's going to keep it himself and lean forward. And still trying to get him down and carries a little bit, but that's going to take us out of the first half. It is 7-3 Carver here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium in Columbus, Georgia. As we get ready for bands to go away, we'll take a break, and we'll see you in just a minute.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
1 match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
It is time for second half football here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium in Columbus, Georgia. Carver High School leading Buford 7-3 right now as we get ready to kick it off. Here in the third quarter is a rather, not an uneventful first half, but it was a first half that saw pretty much the field flipping 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and then an interception return, 60 yards for a touchdown, and a field goal late in the first half to make it 7-3.
Well, and it was great because we talked earlier on about how Buford's defense was really stout and Carver's offense, but it was almost vice versa. Buford moved the ball, but they kept shooting themselves in the foot with holding penalties. But Carver's defense scored a touchdown, and Buford's defense did a good job on Carver. But Carver's offense struggled a little bit there. But it definitely the roles were reversed with Carver's defense stepping up and putting points on the board. Yeah,
no doubt the Carver defense has stepped up. Those corners are doing an unbelievable job so far of locking down on the outsides. Keontae Walton and Talik Quarterman are doing an unbelievable job on these Buford receivers and keeping them out from making many catches tonight as they've been able to stuff it up as the kickoff is underway, and it's going to roll out of bounds here. David Curry, a dangerous play, but at the same time, smart, letting it roll out of bounds, and the illegal procedure call on the kickoff team will give them excellent field position. They'll start at their own 35-yard line, and nothing wrong with starting at your own 35, but the medicine, I think, in the second half, that is going to make it work for Buford is to keep it on the ground as Thomas Wilson and Dontravius Wilson, Xavier Hoaxie have done a good job of carrying the football in the interior and joing off right and left tackle, and that's where they've been picking up their yards. But throwing the football hadn't been their thing in the first half.
No, it really hadn't. You're right, Jason. And they did a good job of getting receivers open. It was more on the quarterbacks of leading receivers too much, overthrowing receivers, and so we'll see what they can come up with in the second half.
Starting out the second half under quarterback, Montgomery Van Gorder for Buford. And again, we've already got a penalty. I don't know if this time, if Carver is going to get the offensive call here, and they are. And jumping a little bit too soon, so a free 5 to start out with. 2 penalties to start the second half. And already they're first down and 5 and hadn't had to do anything.
The Buford coaches love that.
Oh, yeah, it's been against Buford all night. They've had quite a few holding calls that have stalled some big drives, carrying it deep. Is Van Gorder going to give it off to Wilson? Wilson carrying it 6 yards across the 45 to the 46. It'll be first down and 10. A big shout-out to probably our biggest fan who's been following us since we've been doing playoff football, Ronnie Christian, a buddy of mine, coached baseball with me for a long time, and is now actually trying to find me a truck, too. So,
well, Ronnie, I don't know you, but thanks for watching. And you need to spread the word to all your friends that there's a place to go to watch high school sports.
Exactly. Our number one fan, be sure to tune in GHSA TV. We're bringing you playoff football all throughout the playoffs as we're nearing the end here. As now Wilson going to carry it again. Joshua Thomas going to get a carry, take it across the 50.
Buford coaches are just down from us. I think they just heard you talking about keeping the ball on the ground.
I think that's your ultimate plan, or has to be the plan. You move it. I mean, they move it in 2 and 3 chunks, and like you said, a cloud of dust is eventually going to happen. But then they try and do a play action and catch them napping. But they're manning up on these receivers out here, and they've done a good job of manning up, especially Keontae Walton, who carried a bigger interception back earlier, are locking these receivers down. Now Wilson going to carry again. The big back carries it 5 yards and picks up a first down, going off left side again. Sticking to that interior, you got big offensive linemen like big Travis DeGoey and Josh Cardiello. I mean, those guys look like they're near 300 pounds. And like we mentioned earlier, they do oversize that defensive line for Carver, but Carver's getting down around their ankles, down around their legs, and crushing that line and doing a good job. But if they can continue to wear down, this middle is going to continue to open up. As now Van Gorder checks down, moving to a different play, going to now run it off left side and going to get slung out of bounds. Thomas carrying it about 2 yards, gets it to the 40 before he is slammed out of bounds. It'll be second down and probably 8 yards, depends on where they mark it. Actually, second down and 9.
We'll see if Carver can tighten up that run defense. They've been playing great pass defense.
quite a few running backs for Buford. Usually leading the way is Wilson. Thomas Wilson, number 21, and number 1, Dontravius Wilson. Excited to see Xavier Hoaxie quite a few times out of that Wildcat-type formation. I guess the Wild Wolf. And there's another actually going to be a timeout called. We're getting close to the delay of game, but the timeout's going to be called by Buford early in the third quarter. 9:57 left to go here in the third quarter here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. And I know you've been waiting, so we'll get you a few scores as things have definitely changed throughout the half.
All right, most games are coming back from halftime. We still have, let's see, as we are reloading these games real quick. We got Lovejoy North Gwinnett 7-3. Lovejoy. Ware still beating Stevenson 7-0 at half there. In the third quarter, Mill Creek is putting it to North Cobb 21-7. You got Norcross up on Camden County at half 19-14. Colquitt tied up with Parkview at 7s. Tucker still leading Northside Warner Robins at 13-3. Gainesville putting a hurting on Harris County at 43-7.
We'll keep you posted. We'll be back to those scores in just a minute as the state is starting to shape up, heading to semifinal high school football playoffs here in the state of Georgia. Wilson going to get the carry, finds him a little hole off left side, getting it close to the 35 at the 36-yard line of Carver.
Tell you what, they can't bring him down with just one guy. He is a hoss.
Yeah, both Wilson boys, I'm not sure if they're brothers or not, but Ontravius, number 1, is a senior. Thomas Wilson, a junior, and both are super big backs, and they do a good job of carrying the football and picking up those yards after contact, which is super important for any back, whether no matter how big you are. So 3rd down and 4. Carver and I are up on their feet here on the sideline trying to make a little bit of noise. And they're going to give it off to the big boy again, and guess what he gets? A first down. So I'm not sure if someone heard me speaking earlier, but I tell you what, they're definitely chewing up some yards now, and just give it to the Wilson boys, and they're making up some ground out there.
You know, in that second quarter, they put together almost a 6-minute drive there, and it just ate the clock up, kept the ball out of Carver's hands, and here they are coming right back at it, doing it again. We're already down to 9 minutes.
Hanging on to the football again. They've held it all in the third quarter so far. And almost a poor give from Van Gorder. Almost didn't get it into the breadbasket. And could have turned up costly, but it didn't. Just a yard loss. So it'll be 2nd down and 11. But those are those scary plays as a coach. You don't usually see it on the ground, but as a coach up in the booth, you definitely see those almost whoops moments that could change the game in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that I don't know who it was on the defensive line there for Carver, but he got through and was not fooled one bit by the misdirection.
2nd down and 11. Van Gorder now's got a man out in the flats. Makes the catch at the 10. Got to push his way to the 5, down to the goal line. Touchdown, Isaac Nalta, the freshman tight end.
Freshman. He is a big kid.
Ain't nothing like a tight end. As you spoke earlier, we had already mentioned the super big importance of any tight end in high school football and college for that matter. When you got guys that can run and big guys out there, he makes the catch. And he's hard to bring down. You got those little defensive backs. It's hard to match them up against big guys like that.
No doubt about it. You got all kinds of options when you have a kid that's 6'4" and can go up over people.
So Van Gorder throws a strike in there for 7. And Bonadise kicks it up through the uprights for one more. It makes it 10-7. Buford with their first lead of the game. 8:22 left in the third quarter. Buford 10 and Carver 7.
Let's go back to a few more scores around the state. We got Whitewater leading Allatoona 14-0. Marist at halftime is down to Stockbridge 7-3. Ridgeland still beating Mary Pearson's 24-7. Burke County down to Sandy Creek just 17-13. That's going to be a heck of a game. And then Lamar County over Lovett right now, 27-21. Lovett's bringing it back. We'll keep an eye on that game now.
Yeah, that looked like an early blowout earlier, and now Lovett getting right back in that game against Lamar County. So the crowd are definitely getting excited on both sides. A lot of folks on their feet, a lot of folks here from Buford, and, of course, the home Carver crowd definitely on their feet as the kickoff had taken at the 15-yard line, looking for a seam. And he's going to get a little one across the 25 to the 30, now 31-yard line. Well, they'll take over first down and 10. Good return from Carver to give them good field position as they get their first chance of the second half. And see if they can get something rolling. We mentioned earlier it's been tough so far for Carver, an explosive offense known for putting points up on the board, averaging almost 30 points a game. And yet, really, their offense hasn't done what we thought might happen out here with this explosive offense.
No, you're absolutely right, Jason. This is, they tried to get it outside, and Buford ran them down. They tried to get it inside, and those big boys in the middle stuffed the line, and it's been tough going for Carver offensively.
See if they decide to throw it here. They've had some success throwing the football tonight as McGee is going to throw a quick screen. Finds his man at the 30. He might have the corner. He gets it to the 40, but closing quick is Buford. Bryson Jordan, he closed that one up in a minute. It looked like Freeman had nothing but green space. And I tell you what, it's hard when you got guys that can chase you down in the backfield like that.
No doubt about it, but if you notice, and on screens and on teams that run option, the perimeter blocking is the key to those plays right there, and they did a great job of picking up those corners.
Again, going to throw another screen out, and he's going to get hit hard this time. Not going to fall for it twice. Jalen Mize, the senior defensive back, stops him for a 3 or 4 yard loss. Nice read on the play from the defense, not getting sucked into those blocks, and that's where you're talking about. You've got to seal those blocks up, and you can't let those guys come through. Well, they loaded another guy up on that side that time, and he's able to free up. Nobody there to block him.
Yep, that's exactly what happened there, and he took full advantage of that open opportunity.
3 yard loss makes it second down and 13. Trips to the left, McGee, again in the shotgun formation. Only been under center a few times tonight. A few of the receivers kind of raising their hands, not sure what to do, as McGee makes one man miss and looks for the corner and going to be forced out by Grant Hall. Again, I mean, it's you look at the speed out there from both sides is it looks like there's the perimeter opens up and all of a sudden it closes in a matter of seconds. But he's able to pick up about 8 yards and gets it across the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be third down and 7.
Well, that was a run all the way, and they had the trips to the near side, and they picked up all the blockers they needed.
McGee looking to see what the defense is going to do. They've got a nickel set in there trying to defend these receivers. The 4 big defensive linemen there in front of that offensive line as McGee takes a snap. He's running to his right, now going to look back left or try and run left, and he's not going to get anywhere as the big D end, Mikey Bart, makes a stop deep in Carver backfield.
That was a great job by Mikey Bart. He broke down, and he did not fall for any of the juke moves that he was getting. I mean, that's textbook defense.
Yeah, I'd have fallen for that juke move because, you want to make that big hit. His goal wasn't the big hit. It was the stop.
I have a feeling you would have literally fallen when he
well,
put on the juke
but
move.
On PlayStation, I tell you what, I've won lots of national championships. More than successful. I'm well known in the college circuit. Kick away from McGee. He's going to pick it up off the bounce and going to carry it about 6 yards on the return. But that's asking for trouble doing silly things like that. But Thomas Wilson going to be okay as he picks that one up. When somebody's in your face, you just let it bounce.
Well, you know that all the Buford coaches took a deep breath right there as he picked that ball up.
Yeah, sometimes you want to follow those guys to the sideline and see what the coaches say to them. But they're young guys. They're out there busting their heart. They want to make the big play, want to make it happen. But you don't want to give any momentum to Carver, who can run the football. They're quick. They're fast. And now Buford trying to build on some momentum they built early in the third quarter, getting their first end zone visit of the night. And back in for Buford, Taylor Mitchell out of the I formation. And now going to give it off to Wilson. Room to run. The big man bumbling his way forward across the 50 into Carver territory. 9 yards on the carry. It'll be second down and 1.
He landed right on that yellow line that nobody can see.
We need to ask Ronnie. Ronnie, can you see a yellow line?
Speaking of Ronnie, I got a good buddy out there listening and watching us, Mike Munchin. We appreciate you tuning in. Hope you and your family are doing well.
Tell you what, Mike Munchin is like the ultimate football name.
Yeah. Too bad he was a soccer player.
Hey, everybody's got to play something. 2nd down and 1, 5:40 left in the third quarter. And Taylor Mitchell under center again, going to give it off to Wilson. And nothing but a hole to run through that time. You could have driven a truck through it. As he carries it 5 yards, picks up a first down for Buford. As they're chucking away some of that yardage again up to the 43.5-yard line.
And again, eating up that clock. And you know these Buford coaches just love it.
Well, you know, if you can continue to run the football like that, you start putting that pressure on Carver, making them think that they have to act faster than they really have to. And you know, puts that undue pressure on McGee, thinking he has to make the big play every time.
Well, and at some point, you know, them being able to run the ball this well is going to open up a pass.
Yeah, just like it did a while ago, finding his tight end into the end zone, 20-plus yards on the pass and catch and score. There's now a little counter give. Goes across the 40 to the 39. Again, Wilson carrying the football and carrying it with ease. Picks up another 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5 as we've crossed under 5 minutes in the third quarter left to go. Tell you what, it's got to be hard, Pat. Pat is actually the producer and the color commentator and the graphics man.
That's why I let you do most of the talking there, Jason.
Well, I do get paid $1 million a game.
Yeah, I can only do 2 things at once.
10-7, Buford's leading it, and they're driving now on 2nd down. Give going to be to Joshua Thomas. Take it up to the 35-yard line. Thomas close to that first down marker, about 1.5 yards short. Bring up 3rd down, and we'll just say a long 1 or 2. And with the way these holes are opening up, I'm going to give it to Thomas again. Maybe I'll bring Wilson back in. I'm going to let him run it as Wilson has checked back in. So more than likely going to see Wilson get this football carried across. He's only got to get it 1 yard, and he can lean forward for that one.
Well, the way their defense is playing, this is definitely 4-down territory.
Mitchell takes a look at the defense, see if he needs to switch anything, and he's going to give it off to Wilson, who runs into his quarterback, and that one run-into problem right there stopped him at the line of scrimmage, and that mishap on the give is what probably cost him a first down. Wilson had some room to run, but Bryant able to take advantage of that quarterback-running back collision, make it 4th down and 1.
Just that little mishap slows everything up and gives that defense just enough time to make the play.
Defensive sideline looking here for a big hold. Carver up on their feet now, as they're definitely going to go for it. Dontravius Wilson, the big senior running back, stands behind Mitchell. Mitchell going to give it to him, and there goes Wilson. He picks up the first down, carries his way close to the 30-yard line. Needed a yard, gets 5. It's almost if you watch Georgia Tech play football, that's the way Georgia Tech football, they chew up so much clock, and they wear your defense down at the line of scrimmage.
And they will run on 4th down on their own 10-yard line.
Exactly. And half the time they pick it up, more than half the time. Joshua Thomas now in the deep back out of the I formation. Mitchell going to stand up and call out a different order, maybe switching up, maybe going to run it to the right instead of the left. And I was wrong. But we're going to have some guys moving a little bit early, going to back them up 5, and that Achilles heel is now showing back up again. You're going to kill your drives with these penalties. But the way they're running the football, they're getting it every time. Just keep doing it. Take another 5. Take another 5.
One of the big scores across the state. Big shocker. Now, I knew North Hall was a good football team, but they are up 38-10 on Peach County.
And that's a big surprise. Peach County number 2 out of 2 AAA across the pond from Carver.
St. Pius has jumped up on Washington County 34-21. They have come rolling back.
So 1st down and 15. The penalty backs them up. Back in is Joshua Thomas, the deep back. David Curry, the fullback. A little misdirection, and he's trying to get away, and he gets away from one close to the original line of scrimmage. Great 2nd and 3rd efforts. Gets him 5 yards, make it 2nd down and 10. As that clock continues to roll and tick away as we're almost down to 2 minutes.
And again, this quarter is just moving on by. And Buford, it seems like they have had the ball the entire quarter.
Yeah, they pretty much have, with the exception of Carver having the football for a 3-and-out series, giving it right back to them. So you could figure they've had the ball literally 10 minutes or more in this half, as now Mitchell going to throw it across, finds his fullback again. He had Mikey Bard. If he just could have put it a little bit closer to him, he had the first down and a lot more. So that incompletion going to be 3rd down and 10.
Those are ones you need to have. That's a tough pill to swallow right there. The ball hits him in the hands. Yeah,
sometimes when you're rolling to your right throw, that carries your throw a little bit to the right a little bit, but you've got to adjust as a quarterback. So 3rd down and 10, 1:41 left in the third quarter. Definitely a big series for Carver, needing to get a stop, as they've got 4 defensive backs in there, and there goes the give. Thomas looking for room to run across the 20, the 15, all the way down to the 10-yard line. Check that. It's Dante Gordon, the big fullback, tucking it inside, picking up 10 yards, 15, then 20, and gets a big first down.
And there's a little fullback trap. And like I said earlier, when you've got a team that's flying to the football, anything misdirection like that, a little trap play can break it for big. And there they go. Buford's knocking on the door.
At the 9-yard line, 1st down and goal. Big Don Travius Wilson back in the backfield again. The give's going to be to him. He's looking for the corner. Knocks 2 men down and gets it down to the 5-yard line. I tell you what, he put a few hands out there, and he pawed the guys down and picks up 4 hard-fought yards. It'll be 2nd goal all the way down to the 5, and that could have been stopped in the backfield. So rolling away here in the third quarter. We're under a minute left, and Buford knocking on the door again.
I tell you what, this would be if they could punch this in right before the fourth quarter.
Wilson gets the give, going to pick up a few yards. Looks like Finch in on the stop. So 3rd down and goal, he gets it down close to the 3, in between the 3 and the 4-yard line. So just a little bit further to go to pick up this touchdown, as they definitely need this, as they're running the clock out all the way down to 20 seconds. And it makes it harder for when a team like Buford gets the football, and they have chewed up literally 11 minutes off the clock in the third quarter.
It was a great drive. Regardless if they get it in or not, I mean, they have completely taken the ball out of Carver's hands.
Joshua Thomas is the fullback. He's going to get the football, looking for the goal line. He's got it.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Buford, as they take it in. Thomas, the fullback, doing what he has to do and carrying it in, and there's only 0.9 seconds left on the clock. Buford going to score. They put 2 in the end zone in the third quarter. They have owned the third quarter as they make it 16-7. They've made it a 2-possession ball game now. And see if Bonadine can kick it to the buses in the parking lot.
There may be some fans back there in the grass that need to wake up a little bit before this ball gets to them.
All right, Ralph, if it hits the parking lot, make sure you get it. The point after attempt is good. It's 17-7. Buford jumping on top of Carver here in the third quarter. There's only 0.9 seconds left, and we're going to take a quick break and remind you that to join the conversation about high school sports, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Play on Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. Again, that's Facebook and Twitter at Play on Sports, hashtag GHSA Football. Again, for all the best coverage of Georgia football throughout the playoffs, go to WSBTV.com. And for live scoring and highlights of GHSA football playoffs produced by Play on Sports, go to www.playonsports.com/GA football playoffs. And also, the Georgia Peanut Farmers. We want to thank the guys who provide the energy for our Georgia high school football playoffs. And it's all brought to us by the Georgia's Peanut Farmers. So Bonadine going to kick it off, and he's going to put a big foot into it. It's going to roll all the way back to the 1. There's the end of the third quarter, and he finds a seam across the 20 up near the 30-yard line. The 30-yard return from Carver will end the third quarter, and we'll head to the fourth quarter after a few scores from Patrick.
All right, let's see what we've got going across the state here. Everybody's back from halftime. Washington County has put some more points on the board. St. Pius leading them 34-28. Brooks County down to Calhoun right now, 28-7. Landmark Christian is up 35-17 on First Presbyterian. George Walton throwing up shutout against Walker, 30-0. That was a big-time ball game. And Eagles Landing Christian Academy throwing up a shutout also on Savannah Christian, 35-0. Marist Stockbridge still 7-3 Stockbridge, and they are just about to come back from half.
I tell you what, looking at that Elko score, 35-0 on top of former state champion Savannah Christian. I tell you what, I don't think the coverage is bare at all at Elko. They're looking extremely strong to be able to put points like that on the board in any level of the high school playoffs. 35-0 is a big deal.
And you know, they made it to the quarterfinals or semifinals last year. So I think they returned a lot of their starters from last year, and they are making a strong push for that state championship. Starting
the fourth quarter here, McGee going to take the snap and screen it out, but end up hitting his guy in the back. So that'll be incomplete. And it'll be second down and 10. And you look at a little bit of frustration from McGee out there talking to his receivers, trying to get the screen was for Moore. I'm not sure if Moore was in the wrong place or not or what, but McGee trying to get in his ear hole a little bit, trying to get things motivated down there, as they haven't had the ball but one time in the second half. But they're going to have to respond here. The give is to Moore this time. Miller coughs the ball up, and it's Taylor made down to the 20, down to the 15, 10, as he is going to roll his way all the way into the end zone. And I tell you what, the score has changed quickly. Bryson Jordan takes the fumble, carries it all the way down to the goal line, and gets the touchdown for Buford. My, how the tides have changed.
Wow, and he had that ball, and he got hit and broke the tackle, but that ball popped straight up in the air and landed right in Buford's hands.
I tell you what, if you get to say anything to the newspaper about that one, you just want to say thank you to Carver for putting it in your bread basket, and then his return, they could have tackled him at about the 15 or 10, but they rode his back all the way in the goal line.
They might want to look at him as a running back.
I tell you what, he looked real good on that one. As Bonadies puts it up and through, only 15 seconds have passed in the fourth, and Buford has now extended their lead 24-7, and that'll take us away for a few more scores.
All right. Lamar County still leading Lovett in the fourth quarter, 27-21. Prince Avenue up 17-7 on Athens Academy. Marion County is down to Wilcox, 26-7. And Tryon and ECI is up 14-10. Dooley County down right now to Seminole, 28-20. And then Wilkinson County down to Lincoln, 20-14. So that's a tight ball game right there. Most of these games still in the third quarter. But we go back up and look at now Tucker still leading Northside Warner Robins 13-3. Colquitt is up on Parkview 21-7. I tell you what, Colquitt turned it on in the second half of this football season, and they have just been rolling through these playoffs. They had a tight one last week. But I tell you, they are a different ball club than they were in the first half of the year.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough team to beat. They played Camden County. They played everybody in their region well, actually. And to come out of that region is unbelievable anyway. And so to go in as a fourth seed, you're Colquitt County, and you're extending. You're not the number one seed where they're used to being, but I tell you what, that's a tough matchup for anybody when the lower seed is Colquitt County.
Well, and Norcross is down 20-19 right now to Camden. That's going to be a heck of a ball game. We can't wait to see how that finishes up.
Now the kick is away. Don't want to give a big return, so Bonadine just going to pooch it down to the 20. And going to take it to 30, get hit there. Return of about 2 or 3 yards is all that Freeman's going to get. So it'll be first down and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Carver will take over. Gotten a little frustrated. They've had the ball for less than a minute so far, and it's been all Buford. I mean, there's nothing much you can say. They made some big adjustments, or they just flipped the switch, or whatever happened at halftime. Buford's a totally different ball team.
No doubt about it. And Carver needs to put something together right here, get down there and get some points on the board, because this game could get out of hand.
Yeah, it could get out of hand quickly. 3 scores, 2 in the third, and now 1 has come within 15 seconds at the start of the fourth quarter. And now McGee back in the shotgun formation. He's got trips right, 1 to his left. Now he's going to roll to his right. Looks like he's wanting to keep it, and he's going to have to get rid of it. He's going to sling it over to the sidelines. Great coverage, as that one's going to slide away, be incomplete. Nice coverage. Tyler Shipman applying pressure for Buford, causing McGee to get rid of it. Had no chance but to get rid of it.
We got a flag down on the play.
Possible. Penalty declined by Buford. It was not enough men on the line of scrimmage, so to bring up 2nd down and 10. And we've got a few fans leaving here. The last score has caused a few folks to grab their seat pads and leave.
Well, we had a pretty good crowd here. You know, there's a couple thousand people, I'd say, 2,000 to 3,000 people watching this football game. It's a gorgeous night for football. Let's see if Carver can't get back on the board and make it interesting.
Yeah, a little different than last week. It was a blistery, frigid, windy night at Stockbridge the other night. It's definitely more bearable here tonight.
Yeah, we haven't had to break out the jackets and the sock hats yet.
Carver now going to go here on 2nd down and 10. McGee looking to throw to somebody. He's going to find his man Marquis Hawkins, but Hawkins is punished. Xavier Hoaxie, the running back, puts his helmet right where it needs to be, and he drives him back, but after about a 2 or 3 yard pickup. And the Boo Birds, not the Boo Birds, but the Ooh Birds, definitely came from that sideline in the stands over at the Buford side.
I like that. I don't think I've ever heard that, the Ooh Birds.
Yeah, it's the Ooh Birds. You got the Boo Birds and the Ooh Birds. That's my southern accent, too.
Well, we are in the South. You're all right.
See what Coach McGee is going to bring out here on 3rd down. Counting his guys out on the field, making sure they've got enough. 5 guys down on the line. Empty backfield. McGee is now going to pull it down and run. And he makes a good move at the 35. He picks up the first. He's still running, lowers his head, and picks up another few yards. And he got the sideline excited as he lowered his head, and he ran into Terrence Wilson. Picks up a big 1st down. Like to see a quarterback ain't afraid to lower his shoulder pads every once in a while.
No, you know what? That was a very smart play. I don't know if that was drawn up to be a draw play, but it sure did open up beautifully. You know, they've tried to pass the last 2 downs, and all of a sudden that middle just opened wide up for him. And he is an athletic quarterback, and you give him a little room to run, he's going to make something happen.
He's got another empty set. He's got 5 wide receivers, 3 to his left, 2 to his right. Clock still rolling. Bringing Freeman in motion. Freeman going to get the ball and get swallowed up in the backfield. Nowhere to go as the defensive line. Corey Rogers, listed as the linebacker, junior linebacker, closes in quick, drops him for 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 12, and we're losing time here as the clock is rolling away down to 10 minutes left here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium.
And you know what? Buford's defense has just done a fantastic job of not trying to do too much. They're just doing their job, and it's really been effective all night.
Empty backfield again for McGee. 4 guys down on the line, no pressure, just all coming from the defensive line. He's going to throw one across the middle. Almost a beautiful catch at the 30-yard line. Pass intended for Draylon Freeman. Being complete in 3rd down and 12. We've got a flag down in the backfield, maybe a late hit called. That's from the back judge. So we'll see what his call is and see if this is going to be against Buford. If it is an unsportsmanlike, it'll give a 1st down to Carver and continue this drive. It's about the only thing I think it could be because nobody else was back there. They're just rushing 4 guys. Oh, no, it's going to be marked off against Carver, so a loss of 10 yards. It must have been a hold. Probably from someone on the line of scrimmage. I saw them moving some guys in. So now going to be spot foul. So it's 2nd down and 20 plus. Got to keep the drive alive. Got to get across the Buford 40-yard line to their 37 to pick up a first down.
There's that middle opening up again for a draw from the quarterback.
McGee throws a bullet out
ball
to Freeman at the 49-yard line. They're saying he was out of bounds, and I tell you, that was a bullet. And now we've got a flag down, going to be an unsportsmanlike call, probably going to be against Carver. And if that's the case, you got to keep your composure. It's late
no
in
doubt
the game.
About it. You know, it might be time to call a timeout and get these kids calmed down a little bit. I mean, they're able to pick up some yards, but they keep shooting themselves in the foot. You know, and you can tell they're frustrated, but they've still got to stay under control and not continue to push themselves backwards.
Yeah, it's going to be an unsportsmanlike call. That's unfortunate. So you back them up even more yards. So now you're just hoping not to give Buford the ball back with great field position. It was a great throw from McGee, and it looked like he was close to inbounds. He found Freeman standing on the 50-yard line. And now the unsportsmanlike call going to back up all the way to their 20-yard line. McGee definitely and rightfully frustrated here. Is definitely not going their way so far here in the second half.
No, and now they've got a country mile to pick up a first down.
Yeah, they've only got 40 yards to go. Excuse me, 43 yards. It's not often you get to say third down and 43.
No. Not often you see that.
Empty set. McGee now going to take it, pull it down, looking for someone to throw to. Now just going to run. That's all he can do, and he steps out of bounds at his 28-yard line. It's going to be fourth down, and you can't go for it here. I guess you could, but you're going to have to punt this ball away and play some more defense.
I don't even know if Georgia Tech would go for it here.
But they are proud of racking up lots of yards every week. They do run that football well. I think they're, number 3 or number 4 in the nation in rushing yards. Air Force and Navy up there with them.
Yeah, every year. They got a big game tomorrow with Georgia versus Alabama. And that's
McClung Memorial Stadium. He's done a good job. Sounds kind of like James Earl Jones a little bit. But he's done an excellent job. He's got a great voice. Buford now on first down.
Yeah.
We're going to stop it again. Probably moving a little bit too soon.
Yeah, it's going to be on that right tackle in Buford.
So a 5-yard penalty, back them up. First down and 15, and Van Gorder back under center again for Buford. See if they can burn about 9 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock. And then the Play On Sports crew will be heading north up I-185. And I will get to brave the traffic again. And let me tell everybody, it only took me 2+ hours to get from McDonough to Noonan today. 2+. Van Gorder hustling the play back in. As the clock continues, we go under 8 minutes. Montgomery Van Gorder, the junior quarterback, wasting as much time as possible. As they're going to hustle to the line real quick when it gets to about 10 seconds. Actually, they're going to wait for it to get to 8 seconds. Hustle down, get the play called, give it off to the fullback. That's Gordon. That's Joshua Thomas, Carries it about 5 yards up to the 33-yard line. Be close to a first down.
I don't know if he got it. I think he's just shy. Looking at 3rd and 1.
I'm sure the coaches are okay with that clock rolling anyway. Just pick up you got two downs to pick up a first down here and keep that clock rolling.
Well, the way they're running the football, they'll take that all day long.
Oh, yeah. And they're doing a good job of wasting clock here. They're sitting around. They've got 20 seconds left on the play clock. And they let it get down to about 10, 9, then 8 seconds, and they hustle up to the line real quick and get the play off. Giving it off to the fullback, giving it off to the back. Again, the fullback going to take it. He's going to dive across. Just Joshua Thomas going to pick up the first down for Buford to the 31-yard line of Carver. As the clock will continue to tick away here. what was a chess match in the first half has turned into a Buford. Buford showed up in the second half.
No doubt about it. And you know what? We talked about Buford's defense, and like the old cliche of defense wins championships, Coach. And this is proves that they can shut down whoever they want to, it seems like. Because Carver has a very effective offense that has just been stopped tonight. Yeah.
I've got to see Carver a few times against other teams, and that offense is extremely explosive. But Buford has shown that they can shut it down, and you're not going to play as many explosive teams throughout this state as Carver can do. As you know, even when they beat Peach County plays great defense, and Carver had no issues putting points up against Peach County. And now Buford's defense is shutting them down so far tonight. It's 24-7. Buford leads it with 6:15 left as they continue to let the clock roll down. First down and 5. Play clock down to 2. And he is going to take the delay of game, I guess. Actually, I think the coaches got the timeout called. In time, they did. It's going to be first down and 5 from the timeout. And when we come back, it'll be 6:02 from the timeout, and Pat will take us around the state.
All right. So we've got some new scores going on right here. We've got Lovejoy up 7-3 over North Gwinnett. Marist has come back, and they are now leading Stockbridge 12-7. You got Tucker down to Northside Warner Robins right now, 16-3 in the fourth quarter. North Cobb has come tearing back 35-28 over Mill Creek.
Wow.
Ware County up 7-0 over Stevenson. Norcross is still down 20-19 over under Camden. Colquitt leading 24-7 over Parkview. Whitewater throwing up the shutout 17-0 over Allatoona, and Gainesville put a hurt on Harris County. It's still in the third quarter, and Gainesville's up 50-7. Yeah, you heard me right, 50. That's impressive.
Yeah, we had just talked about Eagles Landing Christian Academy 35-0 pitching the shutout there against Savannah Christian, but Gainesville doing just as much, putting 50 on the board in the high school quarterfinals of the playoffs. As they give it off to Wilson on first down. They're going to get 4 yards and make it a short second down and 1. And they're satisfied with running this clock out and doing an excellent job. Second down and 1 as the clock is now under 5 minutes and 40 seconds. The next play will more than likely not happen until about 5 minutes and 10 seconds. So they're basically running about a play a minute here. And another first down or 2, and this thing will be put into the books. Poole going to go in motion. Give going to be to Wilson. And Wilson going to get the first down. Clock will stop just for a little while. You know, it's frustrating. I know it is on the other side where when you're playing defense, you're Carver. You want to stop the ball. You want to stop them and get the ball back. But you're down 24-7. It's almost like, can this clock just be done?
Well, and your defense has been on the field the entire second half of this football game, and they've got to be tired.
Yeah, there's with 12 minutes in each quarter in high school football, Buford had it for 11 minutes in the third quarter, and so far here have had it probably close to 7 minutes. So that's 18 minutes of football time that the defense has been on the field. Give us to the fullback, going to carry it 2 yards. And now be second down and 8. And the clock again, about a play a minute, down to 4 minutes and 40 seconds. You can always follow us, and even when Pat's not giving you the scores, you can check the coverage out on WSBTV.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Play on Sports, #GHSA Football as well. And for live scoring and highlights of GHSA football playoffs produced by Play on Sports, you can go to www.playonsports.com/Georgia Football Playoffs. So no way that you can't be informed when you're hanging out with us here at Play on Sports. Wilson going to carry it 4 yards. It'll be now third down and short 5 yards now.
Right now, probably just go ahead and run the ball, see if you can't pick up the first down right here. Otherwise, you can bet that they're going to go on fourth down here also.
Yeah, You got 5 yards to go to get it. You keep giving it to Wilson. You keep giving it to the other Wilson, or you can give it off to Joshua Thomas. All backs are pretty big guys here, and they've been the catalyst for this offense so far tonight. One of the big scores on the only pass touchdown for the night came from Montgomery Van Gorder.
There they go, ball on the ground, picking up the first down.
Yeah, you hate to run it in and rub anything in, but they're not actually rubbing anything in. They've run the football straight up the gut about 50 times running up and down this football field here in the fourth quarter as they've owned it. And now here they sit at the 3-yard line, and all you can do is continue to run.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to punch it in again and put this game out of reach.
Well, Pat, you always hate to say it as an announcer, but I'm pretty sure this one is well out of reach. But stranger things have happened. You saw Buford score in about 15 seconds a little bit earlier, and there goes Wilson inside the end zone, and he's going to get another 6 for Buford. And I tell you, that score, and everybody's going to look at it online tonight. They're going to look at it online tomorrow or some other time down the road, and this is going to look like a complete blowout from Buford, but this has only happened in the second half. Carver did an excellent job of shutting Buford down for the whole first half. Then the second half has been all Buford as they've run the football straight down the field, straight up the gut, and they've got the touchdowns they've needed. And one, of course, coming off the fumble recovery for touchdown is Bonadine kicks it up. Bonadine kicks it through. It's good. It's 31-7, 2:59 left in the game, and Carver walking a little bit slower, not as much skipping the jump, but you got to finish strong. You got to finish hard and carry some pride with you through the to the locker room.
You know, Carver this has been a tough game for them, no doubt about it, but once again, they've had a fantastic season. And you know what? They'll be right back here again next year. Yeah,
as we mentioned before, a lot of these guys are juniors, and there's not too much. There's a lot said, for juniors and sophomores that can carry a team as far as they have this deep in the playoffs. We're in the quarterfinals, and it takes a lot to get into the playoffs to begin with, and then to get to the quarterfinals is a big deal. Definitely a great season, a strong season. You've got 4 different guys rushing for 500 yards on your offense, and then your defense. If you got some cornerbacks and some D linemen that have done a good job against a big offensive line from Buford.
It definitely is, and this Buford team, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Bonadi's going to kick it deep. Looks like it's going to be going to be let to roll out of bounds. That'll be a legal procedure. They'll take it at the 35. It'll be first down and 10 from there. And see if McGee is back out there running this offense. He is back out there. 2:59 left for Buford to try and defend and keep them down at 7. And Carver, of course, wanting to take it down. And you're right, Pat, I think it's going to be real hard for people to beat Buford, not because they have an unbelievable potent offense by any means. I mean, they've done well, but their defense that's hardcore.
Well, they threw up 5 shutouts this year, and really, they threw up a shutout again today. The one touchdown Carver scored came on that interception.
McGee looking for someone to throw to, and he makes some moves there, trying to get away. Now he's freed up for some room to run, and going to get hit hard and dropped for about 5 or 6, 7 yards before he is hit pretty hard out there by Isaac Nalta. Again, Isaac Nalta, a big reception earlier for a touchdown. That was Caleb Auer, actually, who caught it earlier for the touchdown. So 2.5, second down and 3. Carver with a nice run by McGee. McGee counting his players out. He's got one man in the backfield with him. Trips to the right. Now going to roll to his right. Throws it all catchable. Pass intended for Marquis Hawkins. Got a flag down, though. Going to continue the stoppage of play.
Let's go back to some scores across the state. Pick up some of those good ball games that are going on. Tell you what, that North Gwinnett Lovejoy game looks like a heck of a ball game. It is 7-3 Lovejoy in the third. Ware now up 14-0 over Stevenson. Mill Creek is getting beat by North Cobb 42-28. Norcross still down 20-19 to Camden. Colquitt up 31-7 on Parkview. And Tucker is back on top 20-16 over Northside Warner Robins. Gainesville has put up 64 points. That's pretty unbelievable. Whitewater is up 24-3 on Alatoona. Monroe area up 47-8 on South Effingham. And Sandy Creek has come back and is leading Burke 31-20. Ridgeland put a hurting on Mary Pearson's 45-14 in the fourth quarter. And Marist still holding on to a lead there, 12-7 over Stockbridge. Knew that was going to be a good ball game.
Penalty going to give the first down to Carver inside of Wolf territory to their 40-yard line. And see what they can do here with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. As you never expect this game at any point in time did we expect ever to get to a lead spread quite like this. Buford now leading 31-7 is definitely a surprise to me. Didn't expect to see anything like this at all. Give is out to Thomas. Thomas looking for room. That's Noah Hickey, looking for room to run. He gets it across for a first down up to the 26-yard line.
You know, and that, besides that draw, that's one of the first plays that has worked in between the tackles for Carver all night.
Yeah, they definitely opened up a hole for that Tiger first down, as they're now down to 1 minute and 50 seconds. And like you said, Buford is maybe wanting to flex up here and keep the shutout alive. Like you said, Hickey going to get the carry again, takes it up to the 20-yard line. We gained about 6 yards. It'll be second down and 4.
Well, and for any defense, you want a shutout.
Oh, yeah.
And that's some pride right there. You know, that's a big thing, taking this into semifinals next week. You know, to say you've had back-to-back shutouts in the playoffs, that's going to raise some eyebrows around the state. I
would even say they probably haven't even given up 200-plus yards this whole game, as they've been pretty potent out there. Now the ball goes down on the ground, and I tell you what, I think Buford may have it. And Buford does have it, so the shutout will remain intact. It is that, and let us explain what we're saying, by the way. They do have 7 points, but if you were tuned in to us earlier, that was from a pick six from Keontae Walton, who ran it back for 60 yards for a pick six earlier, and that's where those points came from. But the defense from Buford probably, if I had stats and we don't, has probably held this potent offensive attack probably at 200 yards, if I were to guess.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest drive that Carver's been able to put together. It's a shame that it ended up the way it did.
The crowd is definitely dispersing here now. 1 minute and 11 seconds, and a knee goes down on the ground for Mitchell as he takes the snap. And he'll probably have to do that maybe one more time, as if the officials do it right, which they've done an unbelievable job all night, they'll walk as slow as they possibly can to put that ball down.
Well, I'll tell you again, it's been a beautiful night of football. Like you said, that first half was a whole different ball game than this second half.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we saw at Stockbridge last week. And Stockbridge playing Wayne County, we were just wondering what was.
And Seminole up down right now, 32-28 to Dooley. That's a big change of score there.
On second down, going to take another knee, and that is going to be all she wrote here at Buford High School. Of course, we'll let the clock roll down to 0 before we head out of here. But it's been an excellent night for football. Buford has done an unbelievable job. But let us also throw props out to Carver, a great football team. You got to hang your head high because you're young guys. You get to come back and do it again next year. A great-looking football team. But Buford just had it going tonight in the second half. They put, 28 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to take this one away in a beautiful fashion. Buford wins it 31-7. But just a quick reminder to you out there, you can join our conversation about high school sports on Facebook and Twitter at Play on Sports, #GHSA Football. You can also find the best coverage of Georgia football throughout the playoffs. You can go to WSBTV.com for that. We want to thank our energy partners in the Georgia High School Football Playoffs. That's all brought to you by Georgia's Peanut Farmers. And we'll end it off here for live scoring and highlights of GHSA Football Playoffs produced by Play on Sports. You got to go to www.playonsports.com/GA Football Playoffs. I hope you had a great night. It's Jason and Pat and Ralph on the camera. We're done here tonight. You guys have a great night.